Welcome back, bookkeepers. This is Jaime from bookkeepers.com, and in this video, this is part 3 of our 4-part series. So if you haven't seen the first 2, I would go back and watch those first 2 short videos that we had with brand strategist and founder of Elements's, Keira Krenek. So go back and watch those if you haven't already. But in this video, we're going to talk all about messaging that resonates with your audience, the right audience. And if you want more content like this, you can check out the DBA. Go to dba.org. We'll have the link in the description below, so you can get the entire hour conversation that we had with Keira. And if you want to see more experts like this, we have these every 2 weeks. So make sure to check that out at the link below. Let's get started with this conversation with Keira.
So now we're going to discuss how to craft messaging that resonates. You may already be familiar with this formula, the I help X do Y statements. And that's a great starting point, but it leaves a lot unsaid. To really make your messaging truly resonate, you need to take it a step deeper so that your content converts, it builds authority, and positions you as the trusted go-to expert for your niche audience. The formula that I use most often is who, do what, buy how, so that. And I know that's not even a real sentence, so let me break that down. The who is exactly who do you serve. The do what is what problem do you solve. The buy how is your unique process or approach. And the so that is the transformation, meaning not just the business results, but what their life looks like after working with you. That so that part is the secret sauce. And it's what separates average messaging strategies from messaging that makes people lean in and say, oh, I absolutely need that. So let me give you some examples of what this statement can look like using bookkeepers as the industry for different niche audiences that you guys may be targeting. And I'm going to be honest, this was a stab in the dark with GPT of what you guys might be targeting. For instance, if your niche is you're focusing on realtors, your statement could be, I help real estate agents keep their books clear and tax ready by reconciling weekly and preparing year-end checklists so that they can focus on closing homes without late night stress over paperwork. If your target audience was healthcare practices, your statement could be, I help small medical offices keep insurance reimbursements and patient payments organized by using a streamlined billing system so that doctors can focus on patients instead of chasing numbers. Are you seeing the pattern now? Let's do 2 more. I know they're long sentences, but these are like your elevator pitch. If your audience is contractors or trade services, the statement could be, I help contractors stay profitable by tracking job costs and progress billing so that they can stop guessing about margins and finally pay themselves consistently. Okay, and finally, if the audiences were salons and spas, beauty industry, the statement could be, I help salon owners track cash flow and payroll by setting up clearly monthly reporting so that they can plan for growth while enjoying more freedom outside the chair. And again, I'll be honest, I don't actually know the day-to-day tasks that you guys do either, so these are all fictional examples. But the point is, they all end in that so that statement, not just with the solution that is provided to their business, but with a glimpse of what life after the problem is solved would look like. So along with this workshop, we created a free toolkit that you guys are going to get specific to your needs and audiences that you might be working with. And it's going to use the most important assets in that toolkit. And it's going to be a very extensive messaging workbook. And today I'm going to give you a few examples of the questions that are asked within that workbook that are going to help you through the process of uncovering what that after state is. Because I don't expect you to just know off the top of your head, well, what does their life look like after? So these may seem a little silly, they may seem a bit redundant, but it's really important to answer all of them as in depth as you can to really get those insights. Some examples of those questions are, what does their morning routine look like now that they no longer have the problem that you solve? Or how does their stress level change day to day? Or what do their evenings and weekends look like now that they're not buried in back office work? When you can answer these questions, you gain incredible insights into how to speak to your ideal audience in a way that they will actually hear and connect with, not just how you think you should be pitching your services to them. You're not just saying, I'll save you time. Now you're showing them exactly what their life looks like on the other side of working with you. Once you've built your statement, the first place to use it is going to be your website. Put it in the headline and subheadline. Put the core message right at the top. put it in your about section. Weave in the lifestyle outcomes. Why do you do this work and how does it change lives? Also in your services section, tie each service you offer back to a specific before and after transformation. And here's one quick tip about writing copy for your website. There are going to be 3 different kinds of people who land on a website. The first one is the person who only watches a video, if there is a video, and skips everything else. And the second person is going to be the person who only reads the headlines of each section. And that's really important to know because you should be writing copy so that that person can scroll down your website and through only reading the headlines, understand exactly who you are, who you help, and how their life would change if they hire you. And then the third person, of course, is the person who's going to read every little thing in detail. And the goal is to write your messaging so that it serves all 3 types of people at the same time to be a truly high converting website. Now, let's see how this works beyond your website. The beauty of this approach is that you can take the answer to one of those questions from that worksheet and consider it an after state insight that you can use as a concept to create content across every platform that your business is showing up on. We're going to go over this, don't forget about it, again in the content creation section, but this is a preview to understand it. If we're taking realtors as the example again, you're going to take that one after state and you're first going to write your monthly newsletter on that topic. Say you write a story about how outsourcing bookkeeping helped an agent sell more homes and reclaim their work-life balance. Then you're going to shorten it just a little bit and use it as a blog post. Not the exact same text. You're going to repurpose it, reframe it, but it's the same concept. You're going to turn it into something that has a great headline title, like the top 5 reasons hiring a bookkeeper helped realtors get their time back. And then you're going to shorten it again, just a little bit more, and turn it into a LinkedIn post for thought leadership, like a client story, a success story of a realtor client, and reflect on the life change that you witnessed that is the same insight that you have been writing about already. And then finally, you'll break it down into short form content. So take that blog post and take those 5 reasons and turn it into one carousel post on whatever short form media platform you're using, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, and maybe do one of those 5 reasons per slide in that carousel post, or even better, 5 quick videos, because video is king right now, each focusing on a different one of those reasons. The same message, multiple touch points, reinforcing your expertise everywhere that your audience is showing up. Here's the hard truth about sales copy. Whether we want to call it the messaging that we're writing for our website and everything, whether we want to call it copy or not, I know copy is a scary word. This is going to ring true. People are more likely to purchase to solve or alleviate a pain point rather than to gain a mild improvement on something they didn't necessarily feel was urgent. Think of it this way. If you're saying, I'll help you avoid IRS penalties and sleepless nights, that's going to motivate far more strongly than I'll help you improve your reporting, right? But when you add in the emotional and lifestyle outcomes, your message becomes even stronger. That's why layering in that after state makes your messaging more human and more powerful. Here's how you're going to apply this to where you're at. So bronze, write that who, do what, buy house, so that sentence, and use it in one key place. Your website headline, your email signature, or your LinkedIn bio. Silver, expand into content. Start posting short form content, all rooted in the messaging work you've done. Start weaving after state language into your about section and services. And gold, turn your after state into a long form guide. This is a scary one, webinar or lead magnet, and definitely outsource the creation of that so that your messaging is polished across your entire brand without adding to your workload or taking you out of your zone of genius.
Sorry, Keira, when you mean outsource, I assume you don't mean outsourcing the actual message of the actual video content, right?
No, I mean, go to Fiverr, hire someone to design you an ebook or hire someone to design you a guide or checklist. Don't become a graphic designer overnight.
Yeah, gotcha.
You don't need to do that. Of course, you would film your own webinar, but hire someone to edit it for you and host it on e-webinars for you. You don't need to, learn all these technical skills that aren't your expertise overnight ever. I mentioned that we do some done with you coaching. We have a group program called Brand Alchemy Mastery, or BAM for short. And in that, we dive a lot deeper into how to create messaging that does the heavy lifting for you so that all the copy that you're going to write is going to convert into sales with less actual pitching live on your part. part.
Thank y'all so much for watching. The next part will be the final part of this series that we had, of this conversation we had with brand strategist and founder of Elementses, Keira Krenek. And the next video will be all about content without overwhelm. So if you've been watching this 4-part series, you know that there's a lot of content. There's a lot of things that we want you to do in order for you to be a successful bookkeeper and market your brand and market your business. It could seem a little overwhelming. So we're going to cover all of that in the next video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.